Hello, in this Fed Data Check video, you will see how to assess as well as anticipate the impact of re-representations and novations on your agency's small business goaling statistics. When a contractor re-represents themselves from being a small business to an other than small business, it may result in a reduction in your agency's small business goaling percentage. Similarly, when a contractor is acquired by a larger company, that may also result in a reduction in your agency's small business stats. For example, a delivery order that started out as an SB award in FY22, such as this one, may nonetheless have its FY23 spend counting towards the OTSB column. In this case, that change from SB to OTSB was a result of a recent novation agreement on the referenced IDV. So if the referenced IDV changes from an SB to an OTSB award as a result of a novation agreement, then any future delivery order transactions that reference that IDV will also count as OTSB transactions. Think of it as a chain reaction. If the IDIQ flips to OTSB, then any subsequent delivery order transactions will also flip. Re-representation per FAR 19301-2. When certain conditions apply, such as shortly before the end of the 5th year of a long-term contract, the vendor must re-represent whether they still qualify as a small business for the given NAICS scope. Novation per FAR Part 2. A legal instrument by which, among other things, the contractor or transferor guarantees performance of the contract, while the successor in interest or transferee assumes all obligations under the contract, and the government recognizes the transfer of the contract and related assets. Okay, here's how Fed Data Check can prevent you from being blindsided by re-representations and novations when it comes to hitting your small business goals. Fed Data Check's small business dashboard, which is accessible via the main menu, provides the number of actions impacted by a re-representation or novation, as well as the obligated dollars impacted by a re-representation or novation. And the definition of impacted in this case is that while the awards started out counting as SB transactions on Mod 0, they are currently being counted as OTSB transactions, thereby lowering the agency's small business goaling percentage. As with all aggregate numbers on Fed Data Check charts, the detailed records that went into the aggregations are available. In this case, click on the actions number or the obligated dollars number in the small business row to download an Excel spreadsheet with all the details. The automatically downloaded Excel file will appear in the lower left-hand corner of your screen. Upon opening the Excel file, you will see two worksheets. The one on the left, the report header worksheet, simply shows you the report parameters that you selected on the previous small business dashboard report, such as the date range. The report details worksheet shows you all the individual FPDS transactions. Note that you can also derive the impact on the various socioeconomic categories, such as the women-owned small business impact, by looking in the WOSB column and counting the rows with the value Y. In this case, only one transaction that was impacted by a re-representation or innovation was originally a WOSB award. It may also help to first sort by the column you are interested in. All transactions listed are also hyperlinked to FPDS as designated by the Mod 0 transaction and the underlining. That all the Mod 0 transactions have a CO determination of business size of SB. You can also generate a Fed data check date signed of the responsibility assessment report by clicking on the contract action type UEI, the vendor name and vendor UEI, the referenced Part 8 BPA. Note that this is only applicable by seeing the vendor's contract small business representations table as reflected in SAM. The referenced IDV, in this case an FSS. And finally, the cumulative small business dashboard shows transactions that have already been impacted to the future impact or the SB to OTSB. In other words, the horses have already left the SB barn. Fed Data Check, however, also has an email alert that will proactively notify you of awards that, while currently count as SBs, nonetheless for all future transactions will count as OTSBs as a result of a re-representation or a novation. The alert is called Future Impact of a Re-representation or Novation and can be turned on for your agency by contacting support@feddatacheck.net. Double-clicking on the PDF attachment, pull up the report that details the impact of the re-representations and novations. For each award impacted, the following is provided. The Mod 0 transaction, note that all the Mod 0 transactions have a CO determination of business size of SB. The date signed of the Mod 0 transaction, the contract action type, the vendor name and vendor UEI, the referenced Part 8 BPA. Note that this is only applicable when the contract action type is a Part 8 BPA call. The referenced IDV, in this case an FSS. And finally, the cumulative base and all options value, thus giving you some idea as to the potential future impact of the SB to OTSB re-representation or novation. There are a lot of hyperlinks on this report. The blue font that is bolded and underlined signals that the text is hyperlinked. All the FPDS transactions listed are hyperlinked to fpds.gov. So if you wanted to inspect the latest FSS transaction in FPDS, simply click on the link. The vendor UEI hyperlink triggers an email by which you can generate a Fed Data Check Contractor Responsibility Assessment, or CRA. See a link at the end of this video for more information on that. Note that definitive contracts and purchase orders are not included as part of this alert. Why not? The federal contracting officials involved with a DCA re-representation are aware of the change to the CO determination of business size, and therefore they know that future transactions will not count towards their small business goaling percentage. Conversely, with DOs, BPA calls, and Part 8 BPAs, the COs actually may not be aware of an upstream re-representation to, say, an FSS. That's it. Again, please contact support@feddatacheck.net if you would like the re-representation future impact alert turned on for your agency, or email us with any questions. Thanks.